Right, what a session we've had in this particular day of the test match, day 2 of the Dharamshala test, the 5th and final test between India and England. And India seemed to be cruising with Gill and Rohit Sharma, and you thought England maybe, and there was a moment in this session, so much has happened in this session, there was a moment in this session you thought maybe, despite us being so optimistic and so bullish about India's chances, maybe England could mount a comeback. It did seem like that because the lead was around 60, 70 or something like that. They picked up 2 quick wickets. You thought maybe a 100-run lead. Who knows? Game could be on. But then the 2 youngsters, one a debutant in Padikkal, the other in Sarfaraz Khan, have steadied the ship after those 2 breakthroughs that England achieved right at the start of this session. And right now India is sitting comfortably with a lead of 158 runs and enough wickets in hand. So this game is only going one way.
Yep.
Let's start with the biggest and the burning question right now that's on my mind, and I want everyone to answer it. Why hasn't Ben Stokes been bowling before this test match?
The knee injury. He had to undergo surgery so that he could be ready for the World Cup, which was a second thought, which was an afterthought. But he wanted to prolong his test career as much as he could. So that is why he is not bowled for 9 months.
In dire need. They are in a tough situation in various moments of this series. Would you please not step up and bowl an over or 2 and bail them out? Who knows? That last test match, it was not easy. Could have come in. Who knows? You break that partnership, you get Gill out with the Jaffa.
Yep.
You get a Jurel out. Who knows? Should have stepped up. Captain needs to step up at certain occasion. I agree. You want to ensure that your career goes on for a longer time.
Yeah.
Agreed with that. So don't pressurize it. Don't do too much of it. But 5 overs that he bowled today could have been bowled last test match, could have been bowled at various other crucial stages of this series. Why did he not bowl before?
Stokes hasn't stepped up in the series at all. Be it with the bat, be it with the ball, be it with his captaincy. He's not stepped up. This is a pale shadow of the Ben Stokes that was there in the Ashes. Proactive, aggressive, match winning. Of course, you will have to raise your A+ game against the Aussies. That's another matter altogether. But here he's just gone missing in every facet. Be it the first innings in Hyderabad where he got a 70. Where has he contributed with the bat? Hardly.
Why did the Bamiami not sing, "Oh captain, my captain, step up, do it for..." He needed to.
Missing Jerusalem.
Just look at the delivery to dismiss
Rohit Sharma.
Yeah. A man is batting on 100, seeing the ball like a football. Jaffa. Brilliant. Who knows? Again, if he bowled slightly earlier in this test match. Who knows? I think it's a big...
He was, preserving himself for the longest time. He was expected to bowl... I think first was a fitness issue, which is why he didn't bowl till this point. Last test match, in fact, you thought he would be bowling because there was plenty of footage that had emerged. Ollie Pop said, okay, yes, you may see him bowl. He's been bowling full tilt. First, it was like, it wasn't bowling full tilt till the nets. And that was, let's say, the second test match. Then you move from Vizag, then you move to Rajkot. He's bowling much more. Come the 4th test match, then there were full-blown reports that he's bowling full tilt. Now you expect him to bowl. Didn't bowl over there as well, and you thought that he will be easing himself in, and there were times, multiple times, in fact, in the previous test match.
He didn't believe it when we called it, by the way, during our lunchtime show, when a question was asked, is Ben Stokes going to bowl? We said yes. Barring Siddharth, of course. Siddharth said no. We said yes.
Yeah, and he got a wicket first ball. 9 months later. See, I think if you look at Bazball's parallel theorem history, I think Stokes believes that this
Bazball's parallel theorem history.
Yeah.
What is this, Siddharth?
Stokes believes this is the first test.
No, but what is this parallel?
See, what is practical? England tend to ignore that. Parallel universe, they seem to be up 3-1. We are going 4-1 ahead. Or Stokes is thinking, I think the next 4 tests are happening later in April or May. That's why this is the
so
first.
So you could have said denial only, na?
It doesn't.
This is delusional.
Theorem.
Parallel theorem history. Parallel theorem. That's how they are. I mean, You wanted Stokes to be fully fit with both bat and ball for this series. You've got only 2 major series that you'd worry about in the WTC. Your first 2 series, you've come up short. And that too because Stokes, the batter, captain, bowler, didn't step up in India. Firstly, in the Ashes, you are undone by stupid decision making. Let us be very blunt about it. Edgbaston was the ultimate stupidity when you look at it. You thought it may work, but every magic trick doesn't work. That's the thing.
So 2 wickets they get quickly, and then this session is all been about Devdutt Padikkal as well as Sarfaraz Khan. Padikkal a bit tentative to start with, I think a few close calls, and that's why I go back to Stokes. He looked lethal. He could have got another one. He could have clearly got the wicket of Padikkal initially, got a few edges as well. Wasn't easy for him to bat against Stokes, but then he survived that. The tough phase, making his debut. Now looking much more settled, much more at ease, and going on with the proceedings. But the star of the show in this session has been Sarfaraz Khan, because everyone knew he was a good player against spin bowling. The real test was going to be against fast bowling, and I know that test might still happen when he goes abroad. But today also was tested because I think the contest of the match so far has been Wood versus Sarfaraz. Wood was just not enjoying the fact that Sarfaraz was taking him on, especially after he hits that one particular boundary, bowls that short pitch delivery, then plays that ramp stroke, was just not happy, was clocking it. But I think if you needed any reason to start liking Sarfaraz, I think you saw it in this session. That particular one, that ramp, by the way, that ramp, if you see the replay of that ramp, he's looking just as we praised Shubman Gill for leaving that ball. For that, you need great amount of technique to be watching the ball so closely. It doesn't come very easily. Most of the time, players will look away to watch that ball so easily, and Shubman did it the classical way, allowing it to go. This man also watching it and guides it.
In fact,
it was brilliantly done. Brilliant.
It took the upper arm. In fact, just where his sticker was, he was watching the ball close, and it took this part of the blade. Just deft touch, as they say, enough to lift it over the slip cordon. In fact,
went for a 6.
No, didn't go for a 6.
Hardly
in fact got a hand to it.
That is later, but this shot first, I think it's brilliant. I mean, look at him, looking at it closely. See the replay, perfect. Does that? We've seen him do that in white ball cricket, and IPL does that a lot. But to do it in Test match with Wood, an angry Wood, and an angry, genuinely fast bowler, not a medium pacer, not a seam bowler, genuinely quick bowler to play that shot. And then the icing on the cake, the cherry on the cake was that 6. Because Wood was pissed off, for the lack of a better word, and then goes on to bowl that short pitch delivery aimed at his body, and he just dispatches it over the square leg between
deep square leg,
square mid-wicket,
brilliantly done. And I think what I also enjoyed, apart from his batting skill, his temperament. Wood was having a go at him, fielders were having a go at him, completely oblivious to all of that, concentrating on his batting, ignoring all the talk. And I'm sure he knew that there, and he's a cheeky guy. He can be naughty, troubling the opposition. But this time he's batting quiet, nothing, concentrating his ball, rubbing salt into their wounds with his stroke play. Amazing. That particular, if you haven't seen it, watch that contest between Wood and Sarfaraz. That is what Test cricket is. That was theatre.
And that ramp kind of gave you Sachin vibes. Right in the middle, same height almost if you look at it.
Sachin,
not the same body type.
Not same body, but same height.
Height.
But same looking at it. Tendulkar also, most of his ramps right on the sticker would go for a 4 or a 6 over third man. But more importantly, this once again highlights the point. Look at the short ball. Same school, Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar, Sarfaraz, Mumbai school of batting, short ball, how they handle it. Which is why Iyer's struggles are confounding. How on earth can a Mumbai guy struggle against short balls?
I tell you the difference. All of them are from suburban Mumbai. Right? Shreyas Iyer is Sogo boy. South Mumbai.
South Mumbai.
Rohit Sharma, Borivali.
Rohit Sharma, Borivali, Sunil Gavaskar,
Dadar.
Initially.
Sachin Bandra.
Not now. Now he's Worldly, so he's also Suho. But I'm talking about the one who came through the ranks, right? So everyone comes from middle class neighborhoods or low middle class neighborhoods. Bandra for Sachin, which is now a Cosmo place, not at the time where Sachin was going up. So and Iyer more affluent. Worldly comes from Worldly.
Vengsarkar also, he did a short ball.
Dadar,
Vengsarkar.
Yeah.
Shardashram, all that side, Shivaji Mandir, all that places.
Yeah. So that's the difference.
Kambli, that's the only exception. Kambli struggled against short ball. Kambli, but he
And
was a Kanjur Marg guy. So, I mean, imagine, look at all those guys, and it only amplifies Iyer's struggles with the short ball. That's the problem. Sarfaraz, both of the balls were not even 120, 130, 145, 150 clicks. Handling them with ease.
That first 4 down the ground is what upset Wood.
Yes.
That's straight down the ground. Then he bowls him a bouncer here and then gets angry. Okay, bouncer is not working. Then I'm going to bowl one straight into his rib cage. And that goes 6.
Sarfaraz actually done it to both Anderson and Wood this series. Remember on debut,
Rajkot.
Exactly, so much because Anderson didn't like the fact that he was standing good 6 inches ahead of the crease, which is why what did he do then? He called Ben Foakes to the stumps, and then what happened? He missed his line because he had to then tweak his run up, gets hit for a 4 again. This time around it was Wood, and that shot he didn't. It was treating the bowler with disdain. I think as Sunny said it on comms, because the ball sent 150 clicks. Heaved it over the batter, doesn't even look above the bowler, doesn't even look. It's a no-look shot. He knew what he had done. Clear the man in the infield, 1 bounce 4.
There is, I agree. While a lot of people are talking about his resemblance to Javed Miandar, I thought he was more Aravinda. But the cheekiness is Miandar-like.
Miandar, yes.
Like
slightly under your skin, and then he will always be there.
Yes, he'll get under your skin.
Yeah.
He'll find a way to do it. That reminds me of Miandar. That's what Sarfaraz is doing.
Yeah, but as far as a shot selection, mixture of Ari and Sachin, if you look at it. Shot selection. The pull shot was vintage Aravinda, but at ramp was Tendulkar. Right in from the sticker, middle of the bat.
Also, I'm just happy overall. I'm seeing a lot of youngsters, 5 debutants for India. Oftentimes you used to keep wondering what will happen to the next bunch of players. Will our domestic cricket be feeding in with these players? Will they be able to match up at that top level? And good, the signs at the moment are encouraging. I'm really happy about that. Good signs to begin with. At least these guys are looking the part. They're looking like they can play test cricket. They've got the temperament. And while we are just talking about the shots, let's not forget, Sarfaraz wasn't all about shots. In between those shots was the time where he really showed good defensive technique needed to survive in test cricket. That was majority of his innings, by the way. These are just those, in a skyline which is typically flat, just a few skyscrapers were those shots, but majority of the skyline was flat. That's what he did with his batting. So the future looks good.
Hope so.
In fact, interestingly, when I was coming down to the studio, just had a short chat with somebody who was like, are these youngsters doing enough? There's so much, it's looking so rosy right now. Have we now really looked past the likes?
Why can't you take?
Maybe someone you don't know, so which is why somebody
A
colleague.
Office, nah.
Yeah, a colleague only.
My colleague from so-and-so department. His name is this or her name is this. Ask me this and I said.
So one of the newly joined people in the organization. So again, just having a chat with him, like, these guys, the way they're playing right now, it looks so rosy. But have we really, Ajinkya Rahane, Chiteshwar Pujara, are they still in the rear view mirror? Come the final, you'll again be like foreign conditions. Will you again go back to them, or they're doing enough?
One more year. Just see if all of them play consistently for one more year.
And a few overseas too.
Yeah, few overseas.
You look at, that's why I look at a Sachin Tendulkar. His first 20 tests for all across the globe.
Yes.
Yeah. And his first centuries were in the Sena countries.
So that was trial by fire.
Yeah.
And he, stood up in that test.
Rishabh Pant.
Rishabh Pant too.
Every century, you look at it, only one I think he's got in India.
In India, yes, exactly.
Sena countries.
I think his last was in India, otherwise his first four.
KL Rahul. Yes, he is a Sena giant here. If you look at it, century in Australia, England, South Africa. South Africa, he and Kohli are the only guys who really stepped up along with Rishabh Pant.
2 centuries and centurion the man has, yeah, now.
Not easy.
Yeah, not easy at all. Just ask Shreyas Iyer. That's it. So yeah,
I just think, talking about Shreyas Iyer, I think eventually he'll be forgiven. The exile will be over. He'll be back into the system. I'm going to find it tough now. He's competing against some real good batters now.
Yeah.
You've got a Padikkal, you've got a Jurel, you've got a Sarfaraz now. And then you will also have Virat and KL back. It's not going to be an easy road now. Whether the kiss and make up, the BCCI and Iyer, which will of course happen because he's now play the final also.
Yeah.
That will happen, but now for him to come back, see, that's what happens. That's why I tell people, don't take any of it lightly. If you reach that level, if I meet a youngster who's played like under 19 or is on the doors of Indian cricket, the only advice I oftentimes give is, don't take anything for granted. If you crack it, doesn't mean you've got to play 10, 12, it's very easy, 10, 12 test matches you think, and you get some good performances that you cannot be moved. You get injured sometime, you go out for a series, you don't know what happens after that. Never get a chance after that.
Look at Jurel. Would he be thinking, let's say, just about 8 months back, from around 9 months back, when he saw Ishan Kishan get his maiden test cap, would he think that, would he be thinking that I have a chance in this team because Ishan's very young, what's my future? There's Jurel, let's say, already in the setup, even though not in this format, but again, once you're there in at least one of the formats, you're much closer than somebody on the outside. But look how things have turned around.
I'm saying more from the players who were in the team. Yeah. See, now I'm saying in hindsight, you're going to be like, was it worth me not playing for those 1 or 2 domestic games? See, sometimes you allow your ego to play a role. I'm guessing in Ishan Kishan also. Yeah, we'll start thinking. No, now you're allowing, you sometimes take things for granted. And I know that there were other issues why that happened. But now in hindsight, when you look at it, you would be like, come on, yeah. I was angry or I was upset. Swallow down your ego at that
pride,
time.
Yeah.
Just at that time, doesn't matter. Continue playing.
For some people, it's not easy.
At times, it's not easy.
And by the way, it's easier said than that. Maybe you and I were in that place. We also
would have reacted like that. Yeah.
But I'm saying,
this is where you differentiate yourselves.
But in hindsight, you look back. See, why you were there, right? You're in the scheme of things. Continue. You look back for all your issues or taking a break or even ego clashes, whatever. You have the rest of your life to do it. In cricketers' career is like 30-35 years, and after that you're already considered old, right? Yeah. That's a short span, and you have rest of your life. So all your tantrums that you have to throw from 35 onwards till your rest of your life, you can do that at home. Ye khana nahi acha hai.
Exactly.
You do that.
Yeah, but then it's a golden chance missed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's why it's a shark eat shark world in the Indian cricket team. You just want one slip up from somebody, and there are already 10-12 people waiting to capture that position. And imagine, Shreyas, the kiss and make up thing might happen in the white ball scheme, but not in the red ball.
No, assuming it does, let's say, assuming it does overall. Maybe you're upset he was not playing domestic cricket, now goes plays. And it's not that there's a grudge that the BCCI will hold and no, he's not going to play. Okay, they say no, let bygones be bygones, and from here on he's considered. Now, if you want to even consider him for test cricket, it's tough now.
Yeah, it's
That's
very
what
tough.
I'm saying. It's tough for him to make. It's not even that you are still punishing him. Let's say you've forgotten about it. You say, it's done, that's it, throw it. Okay, now let's say, pick the team. Now, even if you want to consider him, where do you fit him in? Where do you fit him in? You've allowed that opportunity. While you are happy for these youngsters, they wouldn't have got an opportunity. I'm just looking at it from a Shreyas Iyer's point of view. Maybe in future Ishan Kishan.
What Sarfaraz is actually doing here is not only batting at his position. Firstly, he's not showing that short ball weakness which you see in
Shreyas Iyer. Yes.
The other thing you credit Shreyas Iyer for is playing spin, which by the way he's doing equally
Sarfaraz
well.
is also better in it.
Exactly. If not better, at least he's showing enough at the moment that he's not found out in any way playing spin bowling. In fact, he's looked far more comfortable. Again, we'll go back to his debut. The fact that he was playing spin so very easily and had gotten to those 25-30 odd runs, you knew that the paces are going to be on next moment. And yes, you had Anderson bowl at him then.
The only thing that I will put an asterisk to this is he's not facing the best of spinners in the world, right?
Yeah.
He is facing two very young spinners. I don't blame them. See, it's not, and they don't even have too much of domestic experience. Even if they, let's say they were playing their third, fifth, sixth test match, but had played a good 50-60 first class game,
Oh, and he's out.
even that would make a big difference.
And
First
Padikkal's
ball.
out.
No, Sarfaraz.
First ball of the session.
Yeah.
A bear stow. He did a bear stow.
That's what I'm saying. So for him to be, I agree that he's looked very good against Spain, but when he starts facing a different line and so on and so forth,
He did play, he did face a stiff challenge in the previous test match only where he came up short. Let's not forget. Those were testing conditions.
And you're going to face a premium spinner in about 6 months' time.
But I'm just saying, it is good promise.
months. Yeah,
It's the kind of start that you would want to see from somebody who's toiled so much, who scored thousands and thousands of runs season after season after season in the Ranji. So that's what you expect.
One spinner gets him out. So
Okay, game started. We're going to take your leave. Sorry, we could not take any questions because Pavan, our producers, just refused to show us those questions. So, which is why we're completely out of time. But what we'll do is we'll try and save some of those questions. A post-day show is always longer. That's why we have the luxury of time, and we can take as many questions as possible. So, see you then. Take care. Enjoy the final session. Things could change. India's lost a wicket. Let's see where they're heading. How much are they targeting at the moment? I'm sure that thing is already there, not going to bat another time.
Yes.
But what is it that they'd be comfortable with? All of that we'll find out in this session. So see you.
Bye-bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.